And
Hey there, Monday Movie Club lovers. They're out there, right? For the 4th of July, we decided we would vote on a patriotic movie to watch, and somehow I was overruled and we watched Independence Day. I'm Frank Gaffney. With us, last to arrive, Amy Goldfuck.
Yeah, don't look at me. I'm a monster.
You're a monster. No, you're not. You're a human being. And Joel Fenster, of course, with nothing from Independence Day behind him.
sorry,
You let us down.
I
Brock Wotzitz Gartner at least put up the picture from the premiere. And yeah, I think just because of Vivica Fox's boobs. And Annie King is all dressed up, looking lovely. Thank you for being here. Okay, so like last week's movie, Independence Day has quite the cast. And it's kind of reminiscent of all those disaster movies from the 1970s, where you get all these big name guest stars to come and be in your movie. And it was the highest grossing movie of 1996. That's all the good things I can say about it. Okay, so how did they not even spot the spaceships coming in until they got to the moon? You know, like nobody was looking for them, and any this weird cloud formation thing coming towards the Earth, nobody noticed it. Okay, and how do these aliens know the point of attack of every single major city in the world? How do they know
They
that?
explain that they've
Okay.
been studying them for 50 years.
Oh, since the Roswell thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Oh,
why would
okay,
they
let me
have to
delete
be,
that from my notes.
and why would they have to be in position for 6 hours before they all blew things up?
Give
I
the
mean,
humans
they-
time to coordinate a counterattack.
Yeah, there's thousands and thousands of them. They all have to come together.
But they had the satellites. They were all on the same. Took them 6 hours to say, "You there? Are you there? Are you there?"
It's a big
All right.
planet.
let's also
And of
remember
course-
that, like, cell phone technology back then wasn't as good as it is now. So
Yeah,
we
that
didn't-
was funny to me.
we
I
didn't
was like,
have the guy going, "Can you hear me now?" You know?
that was funny to me because I was thinking today none of the video would be even remotely blurry.
Yeah.
Okay, Vivica Fox says, stealing from Star Wars, I have a really bad feeling about this. No shit. There's there's all these alien spaceships. All right. The movie is also proof positive why Harvey Fierstein did not have a movie career. Oh my gosh. And he probably wrote all his lines thinking, oh, I'm so funny. I'm so clever.
I think I did read that they were ad-libbed, all those scenes.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, good Lord, honey.
That's in my notes too about, oh, good Lord.
Okay. And then when the group of the welcome committee goes to the top of the roof, how do they get to the top of the roof? It's just everybody just come on to the top of the roof.
And they all had signs made already.
The other signs made, it's obviously after hours.
That's why they needed the 6 hours.
Make their signs.
It was more for the humans to coordinate than the aliens.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Gotta get that construction paper.
And we'll give them
Oak tag
6
paper.
hours,
Oak
6 hours
tag.
for,
Oak tag.
and we'll give 6 hours to some of our major characters to get out of town.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Even if we buy that Jeff Goldblum figures out how to give the alien computer this virus, how does he hook up to the alien computer? We didn't have USBs back then. So I don't know.
He was in one of their ships, which has a communication, which it's part of that has the LAN, whatever,
The land.
Amy, you know what LAN stands for, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. And even then, how does he understand the alien language on their computer?
Let me check that off my notes.
And of course, Will Smith can fly an alien spaceship
Sure.
because, he was just pursued by one. So of course he can fly one.
He
He's
did
in it.
have a few problems at first.
Yeah,
It's all the
that
same
was cute.
technology. And why did they build a launch pad for this spaceship when they didn't even know how to operate it until today? I'm like, where? Okay. Okay, but of course, it's special effects, 1996 pretty spectacular. Won an Oscar for it. I don't begrudge them that. That was probably the best part of the movie. Not probably, definitely the best part of the movie. And I remember the anticipation for this movie, seeing the previews, commercials.
Especially because
everything.
we worked at Fox.
We did.
Yeah,
Was this a Fox movie?
yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, I wasn't there. I was already gone.
In 96, really?
Yeah, I left in '94.
Oh,
So the marketing on this was amazing, and everybody knew about the movie. Everybody dying to see the movie, and I was one of them. And then they even shortened the title to ID4, I guess to hammer home the 4th of July kind of thing.
Well, actually, that's not exactly why they.
That's a later thing.
No, it was
Mm-mm.
shortened earlier, actually, because they weren't sure if they were going to get the rights to use the title Independence Day because Fox had to negotiate with Warner Brothers over it for some reason. I don't remember the specifics.
yeah.
Why they had the title?
They had the title registered and they
And
were
they
able to-
weren't. They weren't worried that people would think they didn't see the first 3 movies.
Oh, I remember that was a fun joke. Well, I never saw ID 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Okay, and then I actually got to see the movie, and again on the big screen, those special effects are amazing, but the movie still is meh. Okay, the entirety of the film hinges on all these flimsy coincidences, complete disregard for realism or any vague attempts at credibility to hold the damn thing together. And of course, you have every possible character, old people, young people, black people, career women, gays, and even the dog. You have to have the dog. And it checks all the boxes. Big stars, explosions, underdogs achieving the impossible, a rousing speech from the president, who is also a pilot. How convenient. But that dialogue could have been written by James Cameron. It was that bad. Every possible cliche in the book is said by someone. And Roland Emmerich is the worst director in the world. And he
Oh,
makes
no.
come on. He makes
No.
Michael Bay look like Steven Spielberg.
No, he doesn't.
He does. And yet somehow he's directed 15 movies, and his movies have made $4 billion worldwide. 4 billion with a B.
Go look up the other Paul Anderson, not the Paul Thomas Anderson that does Licorice Pizza and There Will Be Blood. Go look up the other Paul Anderson, then come back and reframe that statement.
He is the 10th most successful director worldwide. Michael Bay is number 7. Okay, it gets 2.5 stars from me, but only for the special effects. And what did you think?
Well,
You
let
have
me pull up
notes.
my notes. I
We'll
did
wait.
see-
We'll wait.
I did see this in theater, of course, and I remember really liking it in '96. And then yesterday, I thought a lot of the things that you said. I'm going to just tell you my stars right now. I'm going to give it 2.5, and it loses a 1/2 star because the script, the writing is just awful. Such bad writing.
Right? Didn't you feel by the end that your eyes were going to roll out of your head and go on?
Oh, yeah. I wrote the comedy is nothing like Marvel. Harvey Fierstein is the comic relief, and nothing he said was funny. He was just
Nothing.
annoying. And the same with Randy Quaid, until of course he's the one who saves the day. And speaking of Randy Quaid, guy was drunk and they wanted a fighter pilot, and no pilot on this planet is allowed to fly if they've had even one drink in the last 7 hours and 59 minutes. And here he is like, I can fly.
But they were desperate.
Yeah.
He was drunk.
He was having coffee though.
Oh, okay, I'm sure.
So that
Trust
is-
me, coffee doesn't help. Like you said, amazing how the aliens knew exactly where all the big cities were and all the important things in those cities.
But they were studying them, he said, for 50 years because one alien was left behind.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. And like you said again, just as amazing, Jeff Goldblum knew exactly how to infect an alien computer with a virus. Although I did think that was a fun concept. I did think that was cute.
Right.
I laughed when Bill Pullman told everyone to leave in an orderly fashion, and we cut to absolute chaos in Manhattan.
It was
gave me-
airplane. It was airplane. It
Yeah.
was airplane.
That's true. Oh, and then Will Smith says early on, and no fighter pilot, no Navy captain, and nobody who's ever had a science class would ever say that the aliens were 90 billion light years away. When a light year is 6 trillion miles times 90 billion. So I was like, come on, people, learn your science. Nothing, anyone? Okay. When the fighter pilots went to shoot up the ship, but we're hitting the force field and then something opened and thousands of little ships came out, that was great. Script is what ruined the movie, especially Will's ridiculous lines like, oh no, you did not shoot those green things at me. All of his lines were idiotic, except, now that's what I call a close encounter. That was cute. And then the cigar.
And yeah, and I think, again, he must have just ad-libbed.
There's one of his lines, and I forgive me for not remembering exactly what it was.
It's what's that smell?
No, not the what's that smell?
That was an ad lib.
You know, we've had what 25, 30 years at this point since the movie came out, and obviously last year's Oscar incident. There were a couple of lines in the movie that's kind of like, ooh, that doesn't play as well as it did anymore.
Danielle actually said when he decks the alien right after the crash, Danielle was like, "Oh, I'm getting an Oscar flashback." Yeah,
and Natasha had a similar thing. But there's one line where he says, "Don't make me hit you" or something like that.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Oh, so he thought the alien was Chris Rock? Is that what we're
something
saying?
like that.
Yeah.
But the what's that smell line when he's dragging the alien across the desert? They were filming it near, and I can't remember, but we've all heard of it, some lake or sea or something where there are a lot of brine shrimp, and when all the brine shrimp die, the whole place just stinks. And that's what he was actually referring to in real life.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. I'm almost done. I hate in movies. Okay, there's another thing I'm going to add to my list of things I hate in movies. When somebody is staring at something, somebody else comes out of wherever they are and they're looking at the person, and this giant thing that the other person is staring at is right in front of them. But the person, Vivica Fox. But honey, do you want this, honey? And then they see it. Oh my God, when it's right in front of them. I hate that. So that goes along with your bad directing. So stupid.
Oh my gosh, there were so many moments of that where the thing is coming and somebody goes, and then you shoot back to the thing, and then you get back to that person, the person goes.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Two lines I loved, I thought were very cute, was when the computer said, "Good morning, Dave." Right? And I picked a hell of a day to quit drinking. Straight out Airplane.
Airplane.
Both very cute.
He stole a lot.
Oh, I just lost everything. My final comment is, I love how everyone had amazing reception, and they actually said we're inside a mountain, and Joel can't even get decent service in a house on Mountain Trail. That's all. Thank you.
Wait, Amy, I just wanted to say regarding the drunkenness, I believe Randy Quaid more because he's a professional drunk, and he had a little bit of time to recover. I believe that more than Jeff Goldblum, who's probably never a drinker, who gets completely crocked.
And then sobers up like that.
And it's at this point, it's got to be 3, 4 in the morning. If that was me, I'd be passed out. There's no doubt. No matter what the emergency is, he's perfectly fine to go up into an alien spaceship. That part to me was less believable.
I think Amy is the
and then he got up and he was like, "Oh my gosh, shoot can. I'm totally sober."
Yeah, I think Amy's the expert on this subject, so I think she should comment.
Hey, now. Oh, and also speaking of Jeff Goldblum, Judd Hirsch is one of my all-time favorite actors, and he also
you had to have the old people.
Had to have the old Jew, and he was terrible. No, he wasn't terrible. Every line he said was awful, just awful script.
I think he just had people make crap up. Annie, what did you think? Did you have fun watching it?
Yeah, I'm happy to suspend all belief of realistic stuff. And
this was like check your brain at the door, kind of thing.
But it's kind of like a rah-rah, like feel good, they win in the end kind of thing. Anyone?
Spoiler alert.
I haven't.
What?
What?
Anyone see the second one? Was there a second one?
Yes, do
Yeah.
not watch the second one. It was really bad.
I've now seen it twice because I watched it again after we watched the first one this week.
Oh,
Oh wow! If you thought this movie was bad,
Yeah.
do not watch the second one.
Okay. Yeah, because when I was looking for it, I saw there was another one. And I was like, oh, I never saw that one. So
This one is a 4-star movie compared to number 2.
oh God.
yes. And I agree that it's, silly and things are like, really? I definitely, agree with that. But still, for me, it was just fun to watch. I enjoy watching it. It's one of those that I will watch when I scroll through and I come upon it wherever in the movie it is. I'll stop and watch it. So it's just fun. I like how she's like the only one to come out of the tunnel alive, right? That as she's driving and she's running and she breaks down the door
Right.
to get
Well,
in.
that was the other thing. I was like, why didn't the fire department go in? She didn't shut the door.
I was going to say, Amy mentioned science before, and physics. If a fire is blowing out, it will blow into any open area, so they would have gotten instantly burned up. Even the poor
Oh, yeah.
dog.
Yes, but I love
Close
that
the
scene
damn
where
door.
the dog is just jumping through, as the fire's coming towards him, and then they're safe. That was fun.
Hey, they didn't kill the dog, so that's all we care about.
Yeah.
I did laugh though. The dog was in front of the green screen of everything. I'm like, oh God, that looks terrible. But everything else really was good. Effects.
Yeah, the worst green screen was the very end when Will Smith was standing there and the ship was in the background there. I'm like, I can see the outline on it.
Yeah.
Looks weird.
And
And
one of the best I thought was when Air Force One was taken off, those special effects then, as I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that
yeah.
scene. That scene was great. So to me, it's a 3.25 stars.
Wow.
That's correct. Yep.
It's just fun
Wow.
to watch for me.
I agree with you when I first saw it, 26 years ago. I don't know. Today, I guess I'm more jaded.
But
Yes, you're more
having done this for a year, I definitely spend a little more time thinking about the movies as I'm watching
Yeah.
them. So for
Yeah.
sure, I probably would have given it 4 stars if you had asked me back when it came out and I saw it. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely would have been probably 3.5 stars. Like that experience on the big screen, even though we watched it on our 70-inch TV, it just was. There's some things that are unforgivable, but not if you're Mark Gartner.
I'm right there with Annie. I love it. In fact, I'm going to make a statement here. It's very important. This and Tremors are 2 of the best bad movies ever made. I love both of them a lot.
Right,
And
so
just like
Tremors is going on the list for 2023.
it's like number 11 or 12, so it hasn't made I had to rejigger my. I already have the whole list made up, and I have like 15, so it's in there. I just realized when you guys are talking that I saw this in the theater too. I was in '96. I was in college, but I was an intern at PepsiCo in the tax department, and they had an outing, and we all got to go to the movie for free and I brought a friend and whatever it was, and I remember being kind of blown away. Like you said, it was a fantastic summer blockbuster, in the theaters. Just like Annie, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a remote dropper. We do watch this every year, pretty much. It's pure fun and a great cast. I don't care about the overacting, the overly stereotyped characters and the cheesy lines. And over the past week or so, we've seen Grand Budapest, and Danielle and I are rewatching the Jurassic Worlds. So we've been over Goldbloomed.
Yeah.
And how can you not love the cheesy speech by Lone Star at the end? It's fantastic. It's 3.25 stars for me too. But just like Andy said, like I do think before we started doing this, and especially right after the movie came out, it would have been closer to 4 stars.
And
Yeah, I
Roland,
agree. I think we've all become much more discerning over the last
Yes.
year.
and Roland Emmerich is a gay, so there's that.
Sure.
Joel,
Okay. So we talk about popcorn flicks constantly.
Oh, popcorn flick. I like that.
And this
I'm writing
is
it down.
this is the epitome of it. It is as you've all said, you check your brain at the door, you're along for a ride. Don't look into it too deeply because you're not going to get much out of it and you're going to get annoyed. It's just fun and goofy. For that, it holds up very well. If I want end of the world alien invasion to really kind of give me some deeper meaning, I'll go watch V from the miniseries back in the 80s.
28 days later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
28 days
Project
later.
9. Project 9.
28 days later is zombies.
Project 9.
District 9.
District 9. There are better, much better movies.
Oh, I'm
Right,
not
you're
saying
thinking of Plan 9.
No. No.
I'm a disaster film aficionado. I grew up in
Are you, Joel? I didn't
Well,
know that.
we didn't know this. I
You're a
love,
disaster waiting to happen.
yeah. Even the really terrible ones from the 70s, like When Time Ran Out and Meteor, I can sit and watch them till the cows come home.
Earthquake.
Poseidon.
I said
Towering
even the crappy
Inferno?
ones.
No, Poseidon is actually very good.
The
And
Poseidon
Towering
Adventure
Inferno.
and Towering Inferno are very good. Earthquake.
I remember
step
going to Earthquake because it was in Sensorround. And the chairs actually shook when there was an earthquake.
Yep.
And then we went to see just recently the Rock movie, Dwayne Johnson, where they did the same thing, where the chairs were vibrating. What was that movie? That's
San Andreas. San Andreas.
And
San
Andrea.
Andreas. And the whole theater had these special chairs where
Well,
every
that's-
time something happened in the movie.
That's more the theater and not the studio, because Sensurround was actually a thing developed by Universal that they only used on 3 movies. So it was not a thing really.
Right. But these
so-
chairs things seemed like it was a thing for a bit.
Well, it
We
still
went-
is. We have
It still does?
they're-
Oh, okay.
yeah, like they're now AMC theaters, but when they were Bowtie in our area, they had their BTX theaters where it was like,
BTX. That was
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
the chairs were
One in
hooked up to
Manhattan.
everything rumbles. We actually just saw we saw something recently. What just came out? That's how bad this is.
Jurassic Park.
No. It wasn't Jurassic Park. It
Jurassic
wasn't Doctor
World.
Strange. It was
But to
anyway,
me, San Andreas,
loud.
it was just annoying because the chair would
Yeah.
vibrate anytime anything got loud. I'm like,
Yeah.
While you're trying to drink your soda and eat your popcorn, your
Oh,
soda's
that's-
flying all over the place.
that's what I was gonna
Wasn't
say.
that bad.
Chairs, it was too loud in the theater, so
it
everything.
was.
And the
Oh.
speaker right above me actually had a bad. It needed to be recalibrated. It had a bad static hum in it. So
Okay, but it was still better than the version in the Kentucky Fried Movie.
yes.
All right, we digress.
Anyway,
So this is a popcorn
We'll just
movie.
edit that out.
It's a popcorn
please
film
do.
and it's fun. It's not a remote dropper for me. I've seen it a number of times. And I still
This
watch
was
it.
actually only my second time seeing this movie.
Um,
I don't watch TV, so I don't remote drop. I don't. I've never like the past 15 years. I've never watched broadcast TV.
So whenever you
Never.
watch TV shows, it's all streamed.
Or I would have,
On DVR.
recorded it on my DVR or my VHS tape. And I don't watch regular TV. I'm like, don't waste my time with your 15 minutes of commercials.
Same. I would never on a Saturday afternoon start doing this to drop the remote. Oh my
I'm
God.
not a flipper. I'm not from the flippers, which
We're not from the
annoys
flippers.
Anthony to no end. He likes to flip. He'll go to
Come
bed an
on,
hour
come on,
early.
Andy's
so he
got
can flip
places to
TV.
be.
yeah.
Places to go,
There
people
was
to
something I was
see.
gonna
Shut
say, and you derailed what I was gonna say. So
Joel, I'm sorry. It was a popcorn
Oh,
movie.
Right, Roland Emmerich is on that list of terrible directors. Not the
He
worst,
is.
because he knows how to actually make a movie. Technically, but if you watch the other stuff he's done since Independence Day, it's a long, slow slog
Downhill. All
Yeah.
downhill.
Would you
and
say he's better or worse than Michael Bay?
Nah,
it's a different kind of worse, because Roland Emmerich's not full of himself. So it's kind of a different kind of worse. Anyway, I'm gonna go with Annie and Mark and give it 3.25 stars. I was batting back and forth whether it was a 3 or a 3.5. We'll give it 3.25.
Oh,
Definitely
this is
fun.
not a 3.5 star movie. I would disown all of you if any of you said 3.5.
Having seen the sequel again very recently,
That should bring it down to 3 stars.
no, this is should push the first one up to 3.5 stars because
Yeah.
the sequel is, oh my God. And the worst part is it ends with a cliffhanger essentially. So, and I don't think we're ever getting a third part now. So
It was so bad. I don't even remember it. I don't remember much about it at all.
He blocked it out.
you don't remember that they brought back Vivica Fox just to like kill her in the dumbest way possible?
Nope. But I know they brought back Data,
Yes, Dr. Oaken is still alive.
which he was clearly dead in this movie.
Yes, well they said he's just in-
And you
coma.
know, he was like, oh no, I need a wig and I need to be so different from Data. Ridiculous.
Well,
get
he
to
was
get to see
designed
his ass in
after
the sequel.
somebody.
He was.
I said you get to see his ass in the sequel.
You're an ass to watch the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
He was designed after some scientist.
Yeah, somebody that Roland Emmerich or somebody knew. He had the same weird last name
yeah,
and
he's
he
one of
looked
the
just like him.
he's he's a
Scientist.
special no, he's a special effects.
Special effects, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he looked terrible. I
like
hated
that.
him and I love Brent Spiner.
Somebody looks like that in real life.
Yeah.
Yep. Same with the mannerisms too. They were imitating the guy.
One little trivia thing I want to add that I loved was Robert
Oh,
Loggia
please do.
was told by somebody on set, somebody big like Roland Emmerich or something, go watch Airplane and you'll see what we're trying to do. And then he went, oh fuck, I meant to say airport. So he told them like both of them.
Ah,
And Robert Loggia ended up watching Airplane and he like walked off the set for a day. He's like, I'm not doing this weird parody shit.
Right.
Like, no,
That's
I
great.
meant airport.
but he
Wait, hold
said,
on. I have a bit of trivia too. This is just from my own brain. There are 3 actors in here who are 6'4". Name the 3 actors.
Jeff Goldblum,
well, looking at
Yes.
your picture,
Brent Spiner.
Nope.
none of
Oh,
these people. I'm
The
6'4".
president guy, William Hurt.
Why is it a thing?
No, he's right there
Why
next to him. He's
Bill Pullman.
all right.
No.
It's
Bill
Jeff
Pullman.
Goldblum, Randy Quaid is 6'4", and Adam Baldwin, the not a Baldwin brother, but he was my bodyguard. He was in Chuck, and he was the military guy who shot the glass.
Oh, yeah, I
And
didn't know.
When we
who
were
he was.
watching it, I'm like, why does this guy look familiar? And Anthony was like, he was on Chuck for 5 years.
Natasha kept commenting on the women running around in various scenes and why are they still wearing heels? And there's a moment where Margaret Collin goes to hug Jeff Goldblum. I said, that's why she's still wearing heels because they were eye to eye. It's like-
It's funny because
She had
when
a-
you look at
she had a
Will
jump
Smith,
on.
sometimes Will Smith seems like he's pretty tall. He's 6'1". That's I know Joel is taller, but
No, not anymore.
Why are you obsessed with people's height?
I am. I
Is
have.
it
I have.
short?
I have a height. I can name me an actor, and I can name their height. I'm pretty well.
Is it because
Oscar
you're so
Homolka.
short?
All right, name me an actor that I know, and I can.
How tall is Harry Connick Jr.?
He's about 5'11".
And
Let's
Happy Hanukkah from Harry Connick. All right, are we done?
I'm done.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think a lot of people watching this are done too. Boy, did we digress.
If you got to this point, email me at frankany@yahoo.com and I will send you a present. All right, so Independence Day is available to watch on Prime or Hulu if you want to watch it today, since it is the 4th of July. And next Monday, we are watching one of Amy's choices, again, a nostalgia fest that she loved, past tense, called the Bad News Bears, with Walter Matthau, not the more recent one with, I don't know who's in it.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob. Okay. And that one is available on Skinamax.
I don't have Skinamax.
I don't have that.
I watched it. I actually watched it on the plane going to New York.
Ugh.
It was on the Delta.
You might have to rent it for us, Frank.
Ah, Okay, okay, that's it. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.
And the balcony is closed.
Elvis has left the building.